Hey there you! Welcome to another quick review, and the cap to my Far Cry series for now. I just can't take any more, okay? I do have Far Cry 6, and I do plan on playing that as well, but I'm a little exhausted with Far Cry games at the moment. I'll give you guys a little teaser at the end of this video which game franchise I'm going to be doing in the meantime while I recuperate my brain cells. Now, about Far Cry 5. I actually really liked it. No, it's the hated American Far Cry. And as someone who is an American, sadly, I understand the gripe that, the American setting isn't much of a Far Cry in terms of tropicality. And I can't speak for those who don't live in America, but I must say that there was something bizarrely tranquil about driving the Montana roads. The music in this game was also fucking fantastic. The best in the series by far. I'm a goddamn sucker for music. Now, let's talk Far Cry-ness, story, and the improvements it's made upon its prequel. Now, on Far Cry-ness, this game is definitely very Far Cry, and I did appreciate the fake out for climbing the tower. That was, I'm not going to deny, pretty funny. I enjoyed that. It continues to hold that vibe of Far Cry. It continues to have interesting villains, but sadly it does continue to get more boring the farther in you get. The game just kind of meanders a bit, like Far Cry's tend to do, or honestly just Ubisoft open world games in general. Now let's talk story. There will be some minor spoilers here, so keep that in mind. I found the plot very interesting. I'm someone who's incredibly interested in things like cults and the supernatural. For fuck's sake, my two favorite podcasts are Last Podcast on the Left, as well as Welcome to Night Vale. So playing a game where I'm attempting to take down a malicious radical cult already has my interest peaked. I have to say that this game really manages to deliver on that promise. This cult, while not being the most unique cult in the world, manages to help tell a relatively interesting story. There are 3 minor bosses and then the final main boss. These are the Seed family, and each of them resemble a different fanaticism in a way. John Seed is obsessed with what lies beneath your skin and believes cutting your sins out of your flesh is the only way to come to forgiveness. Jacob Seed is the big brother. He's protecting his siblings. That's his main motivation, and it leads to some incredibly depressing conversation. Like, it genuinely makes you feel like shit when you get to it. Then there's Faith Seed, who's their adopted sister, and there's some heavy reference to her being drugged and abused into submission, which, is not fun, and honestly, like, a lot of heavy tones that it brings into the game, and I think just kind of makes you understand that, like, while this is a family and they care about each other, it's obviously very fucked up. And finally, there's the boss man, Mr. Joseph C. Joseph is insane, literally fanatical. He hears the voice, which he takes to be God. This voice manifested from abuse from his father when he was just a boy. This is a rough game. You should know that going in, because it can get hard to get through. I won't spoil how the story ends, but I felt it was the ending we knew would come, and it set up an interesting sequel. A shame that I won't get around to playing that thing until later. Let's talk about improvements that this game has made upon its prequel. It improves pretty heavily upon the last, I would say. Now, I'm aware this game was pretty buggy when it was first released, but playing it now, it ran and played pretty damn smoothly. I really enjoyed this game, and it was just more fun than the last two. While I loved Far Cry 4, this game was just better. I will say, in terms of the villains, while I found them more interesting, Voss still takes the cake, obviously. Now I'm gonna go get some sleep. Fuck this series. JK, I love it. Bye, bitches.